Hi, Julie.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I have some
I'm glad
health
you're
stuff
here.
going on, and so I haven't been feeling great. And they did a bunch of tests. Everything's come out negative, and I'm still in pain. Things.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to you about it later in case people start coming in. But
Okay.
um,
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
hasn't
you
been a
never
great
know.
week.
Things. Hmm. Well, you seem in okay spirits and you're here, and that's all good.
Yeah.
We're doing our best.
Yes. I have a question. I was just reading your stuff, sorry, that you sent
That's
me. It
okay.
has been just a really off week for me, so I apologize. Um, the meats and cheeses, so processed meats, like I understand, like it was like I did pepperoni because I'm like trying to get rid of pepperoni in my fridge.
Okay, okay.
But cheeses, is like a low fat cheese okay though? Or like the light
You could
mozzarella
do
sticks or
that if you want to eat
whatever? Or
more.
yeah,
Parmesans and mozzarellas are lower in fat and
okay,
technically a little bit more healthy in that regard. You don't
okay,
have to completely avoid cheese. It's just you have to be more careful about portions when you eat higher fat cheeses
okay. I can
and the
do that.
cheeses that happen to have more saturated fat. You don't want to eat every single day, but kind of
Yeah,
a moderation thing with those kinds of cheese. Hmm.
sounds good.
Yeah, good question. Cheese is hard. We love cheese.
I love cheese. I
Cheese
know I'm
is
not
so
supposed
good.
to eat it because of the dairy, but that's like a
Yeah, yeah,
hard,
yeah.
like, I cannot do vegan cheese. It's just like a hard no for
Oh.
me. It's
That's
so
probably
gross.
worse for your health.
Oh God. Yeah, I like at one point Hannaford's used to sell like a cashew cheese. And that
Oh.
actually was really good, but I haven't been able to find it since.
Oh,
And
how
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, the
I've
cashew
never even
cheese is
heard of
pretty
that.
good, but I haven't seen it since they stopped selling it.
I wonder if the co-op would have something like that.
Maybe,
They're more
maybe.
likely to have like the non-dairy options. Hmm.
Dairy free
Hi,
is hard.
Linda. I know it is. Hi, Natasha. Okay. Well, hey, that's cool you all are here and we're gonna get going. It's okay that there's less of you. Take advantage of asking more questions and, participating. So kind of like 3-on-1 coaching session here. So I want to hear, I mean, Julie was just updating me on her week and everything, but I want to kind of hear how your week went overall. The focus was on protein and trying to just pay attention to it so that you're aware of it and incorporate as much as you can into your diet because we learned all about the importance of getting enough protein in our diets, especially, as women and as we age. Dr. Biggie talked a lot about that as well. So, one at a time, go ahead and unmute and just, talk me through kind of how your week has been and how that challenge went and just anything in general that we've gone over for the past, I think it's been 7 weeks together.
I guess I can finish some of the things like my week, I guess. I feel like there was like one day that I did track. I was horrible at tracking. I told you that already, but um but because of the week I've had. But there was one day where like I looked at how much protein I ate. I was like, "Oh, that really wasn't that bad. I actually ate over 100 grams of protein." Like I thought that
Heck
was going
yeah.
to be super difficult. So I felt good about that one day, and I'm still continuing to like try to eat from the rainbow because I feel I have definitely noticed when I'm really honing in on that, I feel so much better. Like I feel like I don't
Mm,
have as much
that's
brain fog. I just feel so much better just making sure I'm concentrating on those things.
that's awesome. Yeah, that rainbow, like as simple as that, just like have colorful meals is so simple and perfect. I love that that's something you've taken and like incorporated it and feel really like it's simple. It's becoming a habit. It's becoming part of your lifestyle. So that's awesome.
And it's more appetizing too.
Yes, for
Just looking
sure.
at things.
So pretty. I know. I've had a meal before and it was like all white. And I'm like, oh, this is so weird. The whole plate, even the plate underneath is white. It's like, what did I do? It was like
I
a
said
white
that
rice
to my
cake and
husband
egg
one
whites. And
day.
then it was so
He made
weird.
like, I can't remember what it was, but it was like all the same color. I was like, yeah, no, I can't do that.
No,
We need some
had it.
color in there.
Life is better with color. Cool. I love that reminder. Thank you for t reminding us of the importance of eating the rainbow. Linda or Natasha, want to jump in?
Sure.
Linda.
I know I just saw your response to my protein thing, and I'm not, uh, I've always been one of those people that if I have to like measure stuff, then I get obsessed with food. Like Weight Watchers never worked for me because I was always like, oh, I've got more points. I've got so
Mm,
I just kind of did a general, just like a cup of this or that, and or a hand size. And I
mm-hmm.
know that for sure I feel I'm more full if I eat protein, and I always have a lot of vegetables. So I wish I was an egg person because that would be so easy, but I can't do any kind. I can eat eggs mixed and stuff, but not a scrambled or anything. And I can't do cottage cheese, so I do ricotta or burrata, Italian cheeses. But and I just try to do that kind of like Julie was saying, just a couple times to change it up. And I do have a protein powder that I've had a long time, and I thought, well, I'm going to finish that and then get some better one because sometimes in the morning that's easy on the way to work. I'll just like when the berries aren't looking so great, they've been in the fridge, I'll just put them in the freezer and then you can just put them in a smoothie and you don't care and you're not wasting them. They're so expensive. So, and I find to share that I'll just buy a thing of chicken tenders and I'll put it in the oven with like diced tomatoes, big, and just bake it, and then just put it in a
Mm,
container, and then I can just like put it on top of a salad or eat it with some crackers and ground turkey. But I'm a little getting tired of that. But I would do the same with like those slaws in the grocery store all cut up, like when you're lazy, and just kind of do a little broth and stir fry it up and just have those containers. Because
mm-hmm.
I just eat chicken breast or turkey, or my husband and my kids would always laugh, oh, yeah, mom's going to have a salad with chicken on it for breakfast. Because when I would eat cereal or things like that, I would always just crash. So now I'll do that and maybe I'll have a bagel with it. I get those good bagels but I just, took a long time, but I finally learned what works for my body. And like my husband will have toast. I can't do that. I just crash. So I'll do a
Mm-hmm.
salad or whatever leftover vegetable, sweet potato with a piece of chicken. It looks funny, but it works. So, um, and I never know how many grams I'm having, but I saw this new app, Hava, I think it's called. I haven't, and you're supposed to, I was going to try it for a week free. And you just take a picture of your food, HAVA. Have you heard of
I've
it?
heard of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I have not tried it.
I'm going to try it tomorrow because you get 7 free days. So I thought I'll try it in the morning. But you take a picture of your food and it's supposed to track it all for you. So I'll report back. And I forget how much it is if you do it for a year, maybe $100. I'm not sure. But because simple is really better for me.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I think there's probably some, I think it's probably a specificity thing. Like it probably does a decent job at estimating what's in your
Yes.
food. So for people who don't measure things out and don't have the time, I think it's a really great idea just so they can ballpark things. For people who have to be very specific, I think that you have to. do the manual logging and manual weighing. The more
Yeah,
complicated your meal gets, like there's things that picture probably can't detect.
probably.
Um, but I think for generalization, I think it's a really cool idea to try.
If I were going to be a bodybuilder like you, then I
Exactly.
would have to do the scale, but that's never going to happen. So the picture thing works. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah. I think
uh,
that's a really cool idea, and I look forward to hearing what you think about it.
thank you.
I had a quick thought. Do you like oatmeal?
Um, I do, and I could do the overnight oats, you thinking? Because like in the
Well, I
morning,
was
I would
thinking
never
of I
have.
do a I make an oat egg white or egg pancake. So you said you could eat
Oh,
things all mixed in.
yeah.
So
Oh,
if you made like, I don't know, 2 days worth of pancakes, you could eat that in the morning.
okay. Do you just pop them in the toaster or just eat them cold? Like,
I eat them cold, but you certainly could warm them back up in like a frying pan or an air fryer or microwave.
yeah, I could probably eat them cold with make it like a crepe and put like fruit in it or something. Okay.
Yeah, let me send you what I do. I sent Julie I do an oat bake as well, but I don't add eggs to that. I do protein powder, but I do make a pumpkin pancake, which is oats, egg whites, eggs, and it's pretty high protein.
Okay.
And pumpkin's good fiber,
Sure.
and it's not a ton of sugar. Like the only carbohydrates coming from that is a little bit of fiber in the pumpkin, the oats, obviously, and then any sweetener you do add. Like you could do a little maple syrup, you could do a little honey, but I
Okay.
like it how it
Yeah.
is.
Oh, I'd be curious to try. Sure. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I'll write myself a little note. Pumpkin pancakes for you all. And you could substitute like banana instead of pumpkin because it's just like mashed up and mixed in.
Okay.
I
Sure.
just tried something new today, Linda. I found it on MyFitnessPal. It was a oatmeal bake that had oatmeal, banana, like mashed banana in it, vanilla extract, and a little bit of honey, like a tablespoon of
Okay.
honey for the entire pan.
Oh,
And then
wow.
then you just like spread it on the bottom of the pan and then put some like fresh berries on it and then crumble up the rest of the oatmeal on top.
Oh,
It's like a bar, like almost. And I put a little bit of protein yogurt on top and it was so good. That's
yeah.
what I had for
Hmm.
breakfast this morning.
I'll
Good
look up
choice.
some oat bakes. Those sound good. I'm funny about yogurt too. I don't know. I have these weird food things. No mayonnaise, no yogurt, no mustard, olive oil. Anyway, so but I'll give it a look. Thank you.
Yeah, those are good options.
Oops. I meant to mute.
All right, beautiful. Natasha, you ready? Yep. One
Sorry, I
second.
wasn't able to unmute myself. Yes, I'm ready. So protein's really not like a big problem for me. If anything, I eat too much of it. So this week was fine. Protein wise, I've been really struggling this past week. My emotions are really, really, really affecting my eating. With my fiance having broken his foot, I am not to go into like a full venting session, but I'm really recognizing my need for comfort because I'm not getting that and I'm not getting anyone to like care for me in any way. And because I'm having to like put so much out to everybody right now, my own needs are really falling short. So I found myself leaning on food. And like I totally recognize why I'm doing it. However, it's making me like very, very depressed. Because I felt so good and like so in control. I've struggled with, flipping between like anorexia and binge eating since I was 12 and I'm 33. So to have the binging episodes coming back up and creeping back up, even if they're not as full forced as they were before, I've been really, really struggling with that this week. And it's just kind of made me like really self-reflect a lot. Um, yeah, so I'm really struggling right now. I'm sorry to not be more like positive and upbeat, but I'm really, really, really having a hard time right now.
Mm, mm. Wow. Thank you so much for, feeling comfortable enough to tell us all of that and just recognizing where you're at and having the awareness and reflections you are is really, really big. Like the fact that you were able to come to some reason as to why you were falling back into old patterns is huge. So now that you have those things, you need comfort. Your body is really missing probably touch and just like
Oh,
maybe
bad.
affection
Not to get
and
emotional, but
support.
it's bad. Yeah, I'm really
Yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And not
Makes
knowing like when this is gonna be done and over. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm not trying to make this. God, I don't even normally cry. I'm so sorry. Um, but
Hey,
yeah,
no need to
and
apologize.
I'm really, really, really having a hard time.
Yeah, yeah. And your partner's out of commission and you're picking up extra work and loads and doing more and, taking on that duty. And that's a lot. You're carrying a lot. So
Yeah,
the fact that you're feeling this way is completely valid and I would say expected. So no judgment towards yourself and allowing yourself this moment right now with us to feel those feelings is totally okay.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And food is comfortable. Food is something that we lean on and you're not alone in that. I've been there a million times and I'm sure Julie and Linda have also been there. And so again, no judgments on that either. Um, so I guess, not tonight, because I want you to just be. We're not pressuring anything tonight. I want you to just let yourself be how you are tonight. And if it's to cry, if you need to eat a brownie, like you do those things. Like you need to give yourself that. Um, and then what you can do tomorrow is just sit for a moment and be like, okay, what would help me down regulate? What would make me feel better? And who else could support me? Your fiance is probably the one person you lean on the most. And when
Yeah.
it's like a drug withdrawal. Like he's not there anymore. He is, but
Yeah.
he's
Not even
not
able
at
to
that
sleep in the
capacity.
bed
So you
right
just
now,
got
which
this
is
huge,
hard.
yeah, yeah. So your whole body is just like, whoa, what is going on? And
Yeah.
you're just like looking for safety, looking for comfort, and food is there.
Yeah.
So and the other thing I want you to do, not only find something else that can replace, because that will make you feel good, like whether it's treating yourself to a coffee, going and drinking tea, maybe you sit in a bathtub, like whatever it is. But the other thing I want you to do is everything on your plate right now, I'm sure there's some things that do not have to get done today or tomorrow or this week while he's recovering. There's probably some things you can remove and say, okay, that's going to happen later and it's going to be okay. So maybe that would
Oh,
be time it's well spent of like, all right, this is the list of things I need to do. These are the things that are going to wait. These are the things that I don't need to do at all. Like, we're just not even going to bother.
okay. Thank you. I'm not even like weighing
Yeah.
myself right now. Like I haven't been tracking as like heavily. It's because like tonight I had a
No.
Raisin Bran Crunch for dinner. Like, not ideal. My son's like, Mama, that has so much sugar in it. I was like, you know what, buddy? Like it's okay right now. Like it's okay.
It
But
is
it
okay. It is
isn't like
okay right now.
it's like, oh my God. It's like I just want to eat a bowl of ice cream, bud. Like, I'm choosing cereal instead. Like let me be.
That's a win.
Yeah.
If you're trying to stick to some kind of plan and you're like, "Oh my God, I wanted this, but I settled for this." Like, that's a win. So, that's huge.
Thank you. And thank you all for
And
just being here.
honestly, if you want the ice cream tonight, go eat the dang ice cream tonight, Natasha.
But I could sleep afterwards, I
Permission
would.
granted.
I think that the sugar rush would make it so I couldn't sleep. I need to sleep probably more
Okay.
than anything.
So yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
telling myself.
That feels more important.
Yeah, I think sleep will
Totally.
benefit better in the long run. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
everybody. Oh,
Oh
I
my gosh,
really
of course. That is absolutely part of this. Like, yes, we can talk about the nitty-gritties of nutrition and movement and whatever, but like, this is a group where we support each other and help each other along this journey that we're on towards our best self. And that includes like health and wellness, mentally and emotionally wellness as well, too. So, there's going to be another night where it's not you in this seat. It's going to be one of us. Like, and we'll just, again, continue to just support each other. So thank you for, feeling comfortable enough to let us do that for you. You got
Thank
two
you so
hugs in
much.
the chat.
I know. Thank you so much. Oh,
Yeah.
appreciate you all.
Oh, well, I'm glad you showed up. Like, you could have just been like, hell no, I am not emotionally available for this tonight, but you're here.
I was there
And
honestly, and I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
gonna do it. I'm gonna do something for me. I've been trying to like force myself. Like I worked out today. It took me two like separate sessions to finish it, but I was so proud of myself for finishing it. And then I went on a walk. And it was like
Mm,
a 20-minute walk. It wasn't like long, but I did that yesterday too when I was at work. I'm like, what is the one thing I'm missing? And it's like walking outside. And I did it.
outside.
It was so good like for my soul. And it also got me like away from Dave and the kids and stuff for a few minutes because they were both home today and it was a lot after working all weekend caring. I'm an LNA, so I'm a caretaker all weekend. And
All the time.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
You're amongst other caregivers. Like, we're all in healthcare and we know exactly how it is, And then we have some other moms over here. Yeah, we all know exactly what that does with our energy, constantly taking it away.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, hugs, girlfriend. You got
I,
this. We're here for you.
I'm just gonna say, this time of year, the grocery stores have very nice tulips, and you
Oh,
can, and if you pick the ones with the tight buds, they last a long time. And I think it's like $10. And I would split them and I'd put
yeah.
some on the table. That was what I would always do. And then I'd put some in my bedroom. It just was like when you wake up and you have like spring flowers this time of year, and just really helps. And it's like two coffees, right? $10. I think they're still $10, but it always just makes me happy, and I would just buy them for myself.
That. Thank you so much for saying that because that would feel so good, especially that my bedroom right now, it's like just me in here, and it feels
Yeah.
different.
That's a good idea.
It
And
is such
you
a
know,
great idea. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I think there's like eight, and you could just put four in like a little vase, and they look so cute. Put a ribbon on it or something. It's just so cheerful. It's something that I do when I feel like you feel. So I thought
I
I'd
love
share.
Thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm gonna go tomorrow and do it
That's
because that is beautiful.
Yeah, see what they have. You never know.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so happy about
I love that idea. Yep. As Miley Cyrus said, you can buy yourself flowers.
I was gonna say, why wait? Like,
Yes.
do it for yourself.
I think I need that. That just sounds so perfect. And my mom actually gave me a bunch of vases with some Valentine's Day stuff. So, and there's one in there that has a like a bow around it and it's like colorful and bright and I'm gonna use that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mm, that's a really good idea, and it steers us away from food as comfort. It's just finding beautiful nature things that fill our soul up in a different way. That was a
Yes.
really great idea.
It
I
doesn't
love
mean
that.
I didn't eat a cookie or
Yeah.
cake or ice cream. It just means that I'd like to look at those. I just want to be clear.
While she's
Doesn't
No, you-
I just have to do my whole
like, oh.
confession here. It's.
Yes. Safe. You're safe here. I just cried. Everyone's safe.
Oh, yes, that was awesome. Okay, yeah, and if more ideas come up, please interrupt. So, okay, anyone else have anything they want to share, talk about, vent about? Good. Okay. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about fat and how that influences inflammation in our body. And the cool thing is, our guest speakers have already kind of touched on it for us. Like Dr. Biggie was talking about cholesterol and how we need cholesterol for hormones, which is crazy because probably your entire lives, my entire life, like cholesterol's bad. Here's your cholesterol medicine, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Michelle, the week before, was like, okay, cholesterol can be bad for you, but it's if you have inflammation in the arteries and the veins and all of those systems. That's when it's bad because then it can catch on to the walls and stack up. But cholesterol without inflammation processes in your vascular system is okay and needed. So very interesting to learn that. Okay. So let me share my screen. Oops, hang tight. Share this. Okay. You guys can only see the slideshow, right? Nothing else on my computer?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let me scoot it over. Okay. So fats, they provide fuel, they support your hormones, and they help reduce inflammation. The right kind of fats. So why do healthy fats matter? Fats are essential for your brain and your mood. Fat supports your memory, focus, and hormone balance. So your brain, believe it or not, I don't know if any of you have kind of like seen a brain, but they're really squishy. They're made basically out of fat. Like I in school got to dissect a cadaver, and we definitely got to poke brain, and it is really squishy material. Like it's so incredible. So your brain is made mostly out of fat, so you need it to support your brain. And where does mood come from mostly? Well, a little bit from your gut and what you produce in your gut, but your brain and all the neurotransmitters that go on in your brain. So fat is very important for that. As I just mentioned, fat and cholesterol support your hormones. They're the building blocks for estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, all your hormones. Fat helps with your joints and recovery. So, omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation, which improves your mobility and speeds up recovery. So, eating healthy fats that are rich in omega-3s is super important for that. Helps with your energy. So, they have 9 calories per gram of fat. And I think I mentioned last time, and maybe you remember, maybe you don't, but we store our extra calories as fat because it's the most dense form of tissue we can make. So a little globule of fat can provide a ton of energy. So fats provide a lot of energy, long-lasting fuel for us, especially if you have a long, busy, active day. Eating a diet that is maybe a little bit higher in healthier fats that day versus other macronutrients is helpful. So people who run marathons and such, they'll eat like peanut butters and stuff like that because then you eventually start burning the fat that you're eating because it lasts a little bit longer. Fat helps with your skin and your hair health. It keeps your skin soft, your hair healthy, and it helps with vitamin absorption. So we have vitamins that we take in that are only soluble in fat. It's vitamin D, E, A, and K. I remember that because when I was in school, I said DEEK. I don't know, DEAK. So those 4 vitamins are absorbed in fat. So you need fat to make sure that you're absorbing all of those vitamins, D, E, A, and K. So as I mentioned, not all fats are created equal. Choosing the right ones to support your energy, recovery, and your overall health is the important thing. So what kind of fats do we consume? Healthy fats versus inflammatory fats. So the first one is an acronym here, MUFA. That's a monounsaturated fatty acid. That is the simplest form of a fat. Like there's not a lot of carbon and hydrogen molecules in it. It's like one chain, one chain. So it doesn't stack and get stuck in your body, like in the arteries and such. So that's a really healthy one. And it's found in olive oils, avocados, almonds. And the monounsaturated fatty acids, or the MUFAs, are anti-inflammatory and they support your heart health and hormones. Um, Omega-3s, which we were just talking about. Super healthy, anti-inflammatory processes. It helps your joints, brain, and recovery. You find omega-3s in salmon, sardines, chia, flax seeds, and walnuts. There's more sources, but this is just a short list for you to kind of maybe think about eating those compared to others. So saturated fats, not the healthiest one, can cause a little bit of inflammation. They can stack on top of each other more and get stuck in the arteries and the vascular system. But you can eat them in moderation. So saturated fats are the ones that are more solid at room temperature. So coconuts, grass-fed butter, fat on meat, those are all saturated because they are hard or not liquid at room temperature. But you do need some for your hormones, and they can be used for energy as well. Cholesterol, we just talked about that. You find that in eggs, the healthy versions in eggs, shellfish, dairy, and meat. Okay, any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay. No? Okay. So how do the healthy fats reduce inflammation? Just talked about this. The omega-3s and the monounsaturated fatty acids calm the inflammatory pathways. So they kind of interrupt the process of inflammation and calm the whole process down. Kind of already talked about this, a little redundant there. When you are inflamed, it's not just about pain in your body. It can affect your sleep, digestion, and your mental clarity. So eating omega-3s and monounsaturated fatty acids to calm down the inflammatory pathways is really important to help you reduce inflammation, which also helps your sleep, digestion, and mental clarity. Here's a longer description of all of that. So, inflammation can also show up as fatigue, brain fog, hormone imbalance, stubborn weight gain, poor sleep, and digestive issues. That's what I kind of just said. But again, this is a more comprehensive slide. So inflammation, again, is not just about swelling, not just about pain. It could be showing up as other things here. So how do the fats help? So the omega-3s, again, they calm down your inflammatory pathways. They help regulate your inflammatory response. They shift the body away from producing highly inflammatory compounds and shift you more towards producing compounds that resolve the inflammation. So they're super helpful. So when people say like take fish oil, that's what they're asking you to do, omega-3s. The monounsaturated fatty acids, again, in olive oil or avocados, help reduce oxidative stress. Michelle, a couple of weeks ago, told us about oxidative stress. There's some things that we eat and consume or get from our environment that release free radicals, which are oxygen molecules that are just floating around in your body, bouncing around, trying to figure out what the heck to do. And then they cause stress on cells by breaking down membranes and making things malfunction. So having those free radicals floating around are not good. So the monounsaturated fatty acids help protect your cells from oxidative damage. So the membranes of cells are made up from fat, and these are the type of fats that help with that. So when you have the oxidative stress or the free radicals floating around, you're having stronger membranes because you're eating monounsaturated fats. And this will help support your heart health, your circulation. It can stabilize your blood sugar, all of which influence your inflammation levels. So it's all like connected. As I say these out loud, it's like, okay, yeah, because I'm doing this, this happens, and this happens. Hormone balance, the healthy fats help with hormone balance, and the better health we have with our hormones, it helps control your inflammation. Cholesterol and your healthy fats are required to make your hormones like estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. Again, already said that, but repetition is helpful. When hormones are balanced, inflammation is better regulated. Low fat diets. At one point, that was a big thing, right? Like, don't eat fat. It's been like so many different diets that we've all been trying to cycle through our entire life. Don't eat sugar, don't eat fat. Now do keto. Like, how do you all keep up with it? How do you know what's right and what's wrong? But what we're finding now is the low fat diets are disrupting hormones, especially in women. So, really important that you're eating enough fat. Fat helps with the blood sugar stability. So when you eat healthy fats, you have a slower digestion rate because, like I said, it takes a lot of energy to break them down and they produce a lot of energy. So if you're digesting slower because you're eating healthy fats, you're less likely to get blood sugar spikes. And if you keep getting repeated blood sugar spikes, it increases your inflammation markers in your body. The inflammation, again, not helpful for everything in our body. So what you want to do is you want to pair your fats that you're eating with complex carbohydrates, and that's going to help you with steadier energy during the day and have fewer crashes. So that's kind of cool. We talked about sugar 2 weeks ago and how simple sugars and like white table sugars or added sugars spike us really quickly, and then we get a quick drop. And then your body's like, I need more, my blood sugar is low, and then you get another spike and drop. So when you have fat paired with like a complex carb, you're going to be way more steady because digestion is much slower. So the blood sugar doesn't get rushed into the bloodstream. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna sound really stupid right now.
Nope.
So and I always tell people there's no such thing as stupid questions, but I say it anyways. So silly of me. But sorry, now I'm rambling. Um, so what are good like complex carbohydrates to have with a fat?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the classic list is usually like sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice, um, chickpeas, um, what are the other good ones? Legumes. Uh, the list is not very long if you're going whole food related. Those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head right now. Did I say oats? Oats are really good. Yeah. My dog just growled at me because potato is a trigger word for her. And I just said it. So now I have to spell it to you all. Was that helpful? Yeah, anything whole grain too. Like if you can have gluten, whole grain sources are complex carbs. Yeah, I love that question. That's a really good question. I'm gonna have a whole list at the end of this slideshow about different types of fats. That's gonna be helpful. Grocery store tips. Okay, so how do we shop at the grocery store? You probably have all heard this. Stick to the outer perimeter. That's where we get all our fresh veggies, the fruits, the lean meats, the dairy, the eggs. Like stay on the perimeter, find the good foods. The rainbow colors are all out there, and then only go in and out for like the seasonings or, things you need to cook with. But anything that's packaged and has more than three ingredients, stay away from it because most likely in there you're going to find oils and different types of fats that are inflammatory and anything that has to preserve, right? Like, can you think about like what it's doing to you if you have to eat something that has to preserve something on a shelf? I don't know. The whole idea of that is a little sketchy. So some whole food fat options that are healthy are avocados, olives, nuts and seeds, fatty fish, grass-fed butters, whole fat dairies. Those are really good options. Check the ingredient list. Avoid, if you see anything that says hydrogenated oil or partially hydrogenated oil, you're going to want to stay away from that. That's trans fatty acids, and I didn't even talk about that. That's one that you should really stay away from. They stack in your arteries really, really easily. So yeah, if it says hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated, definitely don't eat that. You want to watch for hidden oils in different foods like crackers, granola bars, and baked goods. They're so sneaky. Like if you start looking at labels when you have time, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, look at all these yucky oils in here. So when you're cooking, you want to choose cold pressed or extra virgin olive oils. Coconut oils are good, avocado oils are good. Even like ghee, which is a clarified butter, that's good to cook with. Yeah. Okay, so how much fat are you supposed to eat? So the general guideline right now is 25% to 35% of your daily calories should come from fat. So if you're eating 2,000 calories a day, just because that's what you need, maybe you're a 150-pound person with, I don't know, you're 5'7", you should eat 2,000 calories. I made that all up. But 2,000 calories a day is what you need. So 25 to 35% of 2,000 calories is 500 to 700 calories of your day should come from fat. Now, since fat has 9 calories in 1 gram of fat, 9 calories for 1 gram of fat. You take 500 to 700 divided by 9, and you get how many grams of fat you should eat. So 500 divided by 9 calories is 56 grams of fat. 700 calories divided by 9 calories is 78 grams of fat. So if you're someone eating 2,000 calories a day, because that's what your body needs for your goals, you would eat around 56 to 78 grams of fat for all the benefits we've been talking about: hormone health, anti-inflammatory, brain health, mood, hair, skin, nails, all the processes. Um, oops. So when should you eat fat versus carbs or protein? So working out. I know I mentioned people who are marathon runners or really, really long endurance runners, they will probably eat some fat. But for other people who aren't doing that long of a duration of exercise, before you work out, you want to prioritize complex carbohydrates or healthy, simple carbohydrates with protein, especially women. You want to eat protein before your workout. They're finding that's really important. It used to be, oh, just make sure you eat carbs because that'll fuel your workout. No, now we also need a little bit of protein. So before your workout, try to eat carbohydrates and protein. After your workout, you want to prioritize the protein, some carbs, and a little bit of healthy fat. Not a ton. You still want to hold off on your fat because after your workout, your body's trying to pull in all the nutrients it needs to build the muscle or start recovering or start repairing whatever you broke down from your workout, whatever you depleted. Glycogen storage is in your liver, in your muscle, etc. So you don't necessarily need a lot of fat right after your workout, but having a little bit is okay. Not going to be detrimental. But the priority is protein and then some carbohydrates. But throughout the day, to sustain your energy throughout the day, this is where you should start adding in your healthy fats at every meal to help with satiety, the hormone balance, and steady energy throughout the day. So, they talked about having a balanced meal like our entire life. Like, balance your meal. Make sure you have the protein, the carbs, and the fat. We can keep it as simple as that. That was a fun rhyme. I'm like Dr. Seuss. Um, and then, on a day where you're feeling higher stress, that's a moment in time where your cortisol might be going up. You might be having more inflammation. You might want to be like, maybe I should prioritize some extra fat today and a little bit lower carbohydrate because the healthy fats are going to help with that inflammation process. So that's kind of a cool idea is thinking about it that way too. Takes a lot of planning to plan when you're going to be stressed or not, but if you can check yourself and be like, ooh, the rest of the day, I'm just going to eat healthy fat and protein. That might be helpful for your inflammation and stress levels. Okay. Is this my big list? Yes. Okay. This might be worth taking a photo of. So you have a list of good food sources that meet the healthy fat requirements. And then it might, remind you of why each one is helpful. And then there's a cute little note on the side, like, oh, use this on a salad. Eat this one 2 to 3 times a week. Add to your yogurt. But yeah, this is a nice list you could bring to the grocery store just to have some healthy fat options or just shift your thinking around what kind of fats you're eating. And giving fats a purpose in your diet. I think we kind of don't think about fat because it's kind of a yucky word, right? Like we have a negative feeling, I think, when we hear the word fat. So maybe we're not thinking about it or even considering how they could be really healthy. Okay, you all set with this page? Got it written down or taking a picture of it?
Yeah.
I could probably add it into our chat too. Okay. Okay, so what are we going to focus on this week? This one's fun. So you're going to play detective. And what I want you to do is look for sneaky inflammatory fats in your foods and try to remove them from your diet. So some of the ingredients that you'll look for will have these names: soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil. I don't think I've seen cottonseed oil in a very long time or even ever. Sunflower oil, safflower oil, vegetable oil blend, margarine, shortening, hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils. So if your food, and you turn around and look at the label on it, Spindrift has a label on it, and you see any of those, take a moment and really consider if you need that food in your diet anymore, or if there's a better option that can replace it, something that has less ingredients in it. Because even as simple as so going back to eating what we want when we're feeling a little off, I have chocolate chips in my fridge. And I will literally go through the bakery aisle and I'll look at the back of the chocolate chips. And you'll be surprised at how many have so many of these added oils in them. So the chocolate chips I buy, it's like cacao, sugar, and milk or something. Like that's perfect. All I need in my chocolate. So I didn't remove chocolate from my fridge. I just found a better option. So again, it might mean you go to the grocery store when you're shopping this week and you give yourself an extra 15 minutes of the time that you plan just to give a moment of like, what is actually in this condiment I'm buying? What is in this bag of snacks what I'm buying? And then once you start reading it, you might be like, yeah, I don't want that in my body. And you'd be so surprised at where they sneak in these oils. So that is your mission this week. Investigate your foods. So this is another list you're going to want to take a picture of so that when you go to the grocery store, you can refer to it and be like, okay, I don't want any of these in my food this week. And if it is stuff in your pantry and you're just like, I don't want to throw this out, I don't want to say like give it to someone else and let them consume this, but you could donate it if you want. Like, so then you're not wasting it. Um, And then again, like if it's something you really love, like maybe it's popcorn. So instead of buying popcorn in a bag, you buy the kernels and then you get olive oil. You pour a thin layer in a pan or a pot on your burner. You dump the kernels in and then you make the popcorn. And now you just controlled what's in that. It's really cool to know exactly what you're putting in your body. Okay. So I'm going to get out of the share here. Butter flavored olive oil. I have never seen that.
Whoops. I
Wow.
was gonna say Kringle Candle has all of these flavored olive oils and balsamic vinegars that are incredible. I remember when Owen was little and we go in there and just he loved trying all of the different flavored balsamic vinegars.
I did too. I remember that. There was this guy, he was super, I don't know, spunky, charismatic in a way, and he like loved showing off his flavor pairings. He's like, this one's really good with this one. And you're like, oh my God, you take a shot of olive oil and balsamic, and you're like, that is really good.
Well, they had like a chocolate flavored one and an espresso flavored one, and they're so good. And there's like a orange, cara orange flavor and like a vanilla that made like a creamsicle flavor. So good.
Yeah, so it's
But yeah,
funny
he's still
because I
there.
is he? Oh my God. That's hilarious.
He's
That's like his
awesome.
purpose in life. Yeah, he is. He was when I went. Um, I don't know if you all have ever tried this, but maybe it's more popular in Italy. Maybe Linda knows. But they put olive oil on ice cream. I had never had that before, but those flavors sound really good on ice
I think
cream.
I'm gonna try it because I have little espresso flavored and a chocolate flavored one. So I'm gonna try
Mm,
that. That actually sounds real. Or maybe in yogurt, like
yeah.
a yogurt.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. What do you all feel about this challenge? Do you feel there's any barriers? Are you feeling overwhelmed by it? Do you feel like it's an e like you can do this task? Are there anything in your pantry that you can think of right now that I'm like, oh, maybe I should get rid of that? Um, or your favorite food where you're like, oh my God, I need a replacement.
Not that I need to replacement on something, but I really, really found it like helpful when you said on like higher stress days to, try to eat like higher in fat. And I've talked about this before where that's like the one macro I seem to like lack on the most because it's been so ingrained in my brain for so long, like low fat, low fat, low fat. But I've noticed so through this past week too, with everything going on, I've been really trying like to pay attention to my body as well and like not put so much like stress on the tracking and everything like I said because I need to work on that relationship too. If I want to heal fully, I need to address it where it is. But anyway, I noticed on my work days, so I have like a good like high protein breakfast. I normally do like 226 grams of 1% cottage cheese, 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, a cup of blueberries, and I've been adding like 100 grams of the Siggy's non-fat yogurt. So
Mm,
be like full for a little bit. So I eat that at like 6 o'clock. And normally by like 8:30 at work, I'm ravenous. So, and it's like that every couple of hours. And one of my coworkers pointed it out to me like last week, I think. She's like, "Oh, she's like, you're a grazer, aren't you?" She's like, "You eat like all throughout the day at work." I'm like, "I do, but I eat small portions throughout the day." but it's in the morning time that I'm like the most hungry. So and it like I said, it goes like throughout the day. And then Thursday night when I got home, I actually ended up eating like a protein ball before bed. Um, just because I was no, not Thursday, excuse me, this was last night. Because I was still hungry after like eating dinner and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, just I'm thinking about like planning this week on maybe eating like a little bit higher in fat because I am super stressed out on work days. My body is going like balls to the wall for 13 hours. Um, so I found that part like really, really helpful, and that's going to be like a goal of mine for this week. And to try to like incorporate
Yes.
more like fats and stuff like that to like fuel myself,
Yes.
and see like how that all works.
That is, I love that you made that connection and you are going to implement that. That is really cool. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you feel about next week, like how that goes.
Thank you.
Yeah, super cool. hmm
I worry the opposite that I do too much fat because I love olive oil. And my husband makes sourdough bread, so we'll have like little olive oil with a like mashed tomato and on top of the bread. So I was thinking I probably should start measuring how much I do, And about hidden oils, I pretty much make our salad dressing because if you look at salad dressings, they're the worst. You think it's like, oh, it's balsamic vinegar, but it's like canola oil or something in even the Italian. So it's very simple to make salad dressing. It's like olive oil, vinegar, maybe a little mustard, maple syrup, salt, pepper, and you just
Mm.
put it in a container and you shake it. And because it's fresh, when you can't just you keep it in the fridge, so you have to take it out a little bit before so the oil can like melt. But you just run it under water. But I found that was a place where we were eating bad oils, like because with salad. So, but
Mm.
I'll measure and figure out how much I should have. I don't know, but I we have like
Yeah. And then at least you'll have an idea.
yeah, we have all kinds. Because the other thing about cooking with olive oil, you want to make sure that the one you have can like they'll say like good for frying, good for sautéing, good for salad. Because some of them olive oils aren't meant for high heat. I think avocado oil is good for high heat, right? Like for I think I
hmm hmm
So that's something I learned recently. Never knew that, but kind of growing up, we always had the different olive oils, the green can and the yellow can. So anyway, but I'll try to measure mine. If I have too much, Natasha, I'll try to send it to you.
Sounds great.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
It would be if we could do that. But anyway, all right.
Oh, I do, it is a pain in the butt to measure things, but I do encourage people to do it at least once so you can learn and eyeball it a little bit better. And just it helps you kind of see like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing that and it was overeating or undereating it. So once you've done it a few times, then you can just take the method of just eyeballing it and that'll keep you in a closer range of, moderation and what you need. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Well, that was fun. I liked having a smaller group because then you all could be more engaged and ask personal questions and share personal stories and whatnot. So tell everyone else how much they missed out on. Um, yeah. Anyways, let's do it this week and keep me posted. And oh, the other part of this is when you find something in your cabinet or in the grocery store that feels really surprising to you or whatever, if you're open to it, I would love for you to post it in our group so other people can learn. Like if you discover something in a common food or a common like whatever, put it in the group and people are like, oh, I didn't realize that either. And they'll just, you'll help someone else.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in looking at all these little all these foods that I've been eating.
Girl, you're gonna be like, what the heck? It's in everything. I was so like, even sunflower oil is really big in a lot of things, and I'm like, no, why?
I thought sunflower oil was good for you. I'm like learning so much. I'm like, what?
Sunflower seeds are good for you, but the oil is not. I don't remember the reason. I learned it a
Hmm.
little while ago, but I cannot remember the reason because I had the same question. I'm like, why can I eat sunflower seeds and they're good for me, but the oil is not? It's just how it's processed, I think.
Yeah, interesting. And then like coconut oil, like there, I thought one of the slides just said something like not to have so much coconut oil. I remember like years ago I did a diet where it was like you only use coconut oil, you didn't use like a lot of these other things. I was like, oh, okay. And I grew to really love coconut oil. So now I'm like gonna steer clear of coconut oil, it sounds
No,
like.
coconut oil is actually it's really good for you. It has some anti-inflammatory parts of it that are really good, and it has a higher burn temperature too, so it's good to cook with stir
Oh, good
fries
to
and
know.
such.
Good to know. So I
It's
can
really
still
good for
use
skin health. Yeah, yeah. You just don't want to like eat it by the globs. Uh, Okay. Well, I'm really proud of you all, and thank you for showing up for yourselves and coming as the version of you today, no matter what that looked like. You are welcome as that version, and I'm really proud of you all. You've come a long ways. We've come so far. We're already in the middle of February. Can you believe it? We've learned so much, and you all are implementing so many new things and creating habits around them and, teaching other people. Very cool. We're celebrating all of you. Oh, this week we have Kathleen. She is a functional nutritionist. She's super smart. She's got some good things to offer. She's coming Thursday at 6:30. I'll
Thank
put it in
you.
the group to remind everyone. But okay, I'll stop gabbing. I just love hanging out with you. I'm like holding on to you all. I'm like, it's not 8 o'clock yet. Don't go. Okay. Well, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.